What is up, everybody? Welcome to Behind the Streams. I am as told by Dylan, and this show is already off to an amazing start, guys, because I remembered to introduce myself. Let's give me a round of applause, guys. I actually remembered to introduce myself. I'm as told by Dylan. We have an amazing show for you guys today because we've got some veteran mods of Twitch with us today. Talk about their experiences. I think between the five of us, we have like 20 something years, right, of experience modding on the platform. Just do the math, in your head. We got some amazing people here that I can't wait to introduce you guys to and talk about their experiences, pick their brains about all things modding and all things behind the streams. And I couldn't do it without my co-hosts. Carly Cartoons. What's up, Carly? How you doing today?
Hey, Dylan. I'm doing good. It is good to co-host this with you. I think especially you could benefit from this workshop, actually, since you're a younger mod than I am. So I would really, definitely make sure to take some notes on this, just in case.
I am only here to learn. They gave me the hosting job because that guaranteed that I'd be listening.
Yeah, exactly. We get front row seats. So I think it's going to be amazing if we could go around and just start off by introducing our wonderful guests today, starting with Mpr, that is on, I guess, my left side. Yes, he's on my right side.
Hi, I am Mpr11. I've been a moderator on Twitch for, God, you're making me guess, probably 10 years now, maybe 11 this coming soon. Started around early 2009, 2010, various communities from small time to, the faces of Twitch, like Swiftdoor or Spamfish, like Failfish type of deal.
Awesome.
Helena, how about you next? Nice kitty picture.
Hi, I'm FeralHelena. I've been a mod since summer of 2015. I'm probably the mod with the lowest tenure here on this guest list. Started off modding in a variety of communities, now mostly with the music community and with some of the larger event channels.
How about you, DM?
All right, I've been doing stuff since about 2010 as well, back when Justin TV was the name in the face, basically. Not quite as many big channels back then, but I kind of collected swords back in the day. We'll kind of keep it at that way. My utility belt was pretty full. Everything from single digit up to multi-thousand at times, working event moderation, and everything from partner to just starting their first broadcast off. So,
wow. Yeah, we're gonna get into all that because, like I said, we have you guys here to pick your brains because this show is all about learning about what goes on behind the stream. So moderators, we all know, are super important to a stream and to the inner workings of a channel. So I want to kind of go around the room, talk about how you guys first became mods. You guys said 2010 and 2015. So starting with you, Mpr, how did you become a mod? Like, how did you first become a mod here on the platform, and who did you first mod for?
So I think it had to have been the summer of 2010. One of the communities I was a part of was the Game On community founded by Swiftdoor, and there were a bunch of various streamers on there. And I'd fallen in, I liked a bunch of their channels. I'd been around, and one of their guys, Chingy1337, who rebranded later on to Bobby Glass, was doing a marathon stream during the summer, and it was late in the night, and he had no mods. So he's like, "Oh, hey, I know your name." Threw me a sword. He's like, "Here, have fun."
You just happened to be there, right?
I was literally there. He knew my name. He knew I was in the community. Threw me a sword. He's like, here's what you do. Go have fun.
Right into the frying.
Right into the fire. And from then on, I just added swords from that community till I basically modded pretty much every channel in that community. So about 8 to 10 channels in a year and a half.
That's
wow. Collecting swords. I love that expression, collecting swords. What about you, DM?
Kind of similar situation where it was kind of I was just hanging out. It was a buddy of mine from local in town here that decided to start streaming, and he's just like, "I don't have anyone here. Can you help me?" I'm just like, "Give me 2 seconds." I literally looked up how to moderate on Twitch, what the commands were and everything else, and said, "Yeah, I can do it. Let's take care of it." And that was the end of it.
You were smart. You decided to look it up.
Yep.
He did research. He went an extra step, an extra
You
mile.
got full trial by fire. I was just like, let me tiptoe into the fire first. At least know something here.
Oh my lord. And Helena, what about you?
What is this research thing? I started off, there was a streamer named Verlomi who did a variety casting back in 2015. And the way I got into modding was she just sent me we didn't even have whispers at the time. It was a Twitch message.
Oh my god.
And
Oh yeah, the message.
she sent me one of those and just asked if I wanted to help mod. And I said, okay. I didn't know anything. And somehow I figured it out because nobody else told me anything either.
So I'm hearing a recurring theme, Carly. Are you not hearing a recurring theme? Just people getting thrown into the fire of modding. Just
That's
here you
just
go.
how it was in the olden days, I guess, where there's just no law and order. It's just kind of a free for all. Here, take a sword. Good luck.
The quicksand or the burning building kind of comparison. Like, I need help. Does anybody else want to help? Okay, come on, let's go.
You ready to go skydiving with me? Let me maybe give you a parachute.
That's amazing. And so speaking of which, like you guys for NPR and DM, you guys have been modding since it was Justin TV. So talk a little bit about like what was Justin TV like back then to mod compared to like how it is now on Twitch.
Yeah.
It was the Wild West. It truly was. Like, I'll put it to this plainly. Like, if you had maybe 200 people watching your stream, you were probably one of the biggest streamers on the platform.
Gosh.
There was maybe 1 or 2 people I could think of who could regularly get 1,000 viewers. And back then, chats were not that good. If you hit a certain threshold in your chat, the chats would split. And
What?
you would have one chat with mods, and then you would have people who would start to come in, they get thrown into a second chat. That chat didn't have mods. So if you found out that the second chat happened, you'd have to have a mod refresh to try to get into that second chat so they could moderate that.
So it's
What?
into new chat. So we like tried to do chat rooms, but you didn't get to choose where you went.
No,
It was like chat rooms, but without the ability to choose if you were in one or one or the
so
other.
there
It
was
was
like
really chaos.
It was like it wouldn't tell you were in which chat. You just have to type, "Is this the main chat room?" And if you didn't have anyone talking, it was like crickets. You found out you were in a
Wow.
Gosh.
And that's how like a lot of event streams happened. That's how a lot, like if you hit that 1,000 threshold, that's how a lot of it happened.
Oh no.
And it was a mess. And it stayed that way for probably up until the launch of Twitch.
How many years was that?
Probably 4 or 5 years.
Oh.
Well, from my time, it was 4 or 5 years, but JTV had been around since 2007, so about 6 to 7 years then. And that's how the chats work.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane. I'm assuming DM that your experience is very similar.
Pain. Like you see those pictures where it's just like someone's blurred face and it's got the word pain in a tweet. That was literally flashback to Justin TV chat rooms. That's just like the thought behind it.
That reminds me of a bug that happened one day on the site. There was an ability to ban moderators. Mods could ban other mods.
What?
That was an actual bug that happened. It was like only a day or so, but mods could ban other mods.
Sounds like a day in hell.
I think that day was the day that most of my broadcasters, it was their day off or they decided to take a day off. So I didn't have to deal with it, but I saw it happen and I was so glad that they were off that day.
Oh my gosh. What about you, Helena? Like, do you have any horror stories for us?
Nothing like that. I wasn't on Justin TV, so I think my arrival on the Twitch scene was pretty orderly in comparison.
I guess you're blessed. I mean,
I think I was blessed.
Right? So what kind of tools did you guys have for DM and NPR back then? Right? What kind of tools did you guys have for modding?
What's a tool?
So in terms of like your interface and all that,
we didn't have much. We had whatever was built into the site.
What are these tools?
For the longest time, I had been petitioning for something along the lines of what we have for mod chat now, like the mod mod page
Yeah.
forever. Like, since I became a mod, I had been telling staff members that I knew when I see them at conventions, when I talk to them at TwitchCon, can we have this? Oh, we're working on it. It's coming. 10 years later, we finally got it. Everything I had asked for, we got. But back then, you didn't have that. We didn't have whispers. We had a little, like, AIM-style chat bar at the bottom that worked, like, half the time. If you wanted to try to talk to someone privately, you had to go through a DM system. Luckily, the community I was with, we had a forum, so we dealt with stuff with that. So you could post on there if like someone wanted to be unbanned, you post an unban appeal. We would look it over, and we would either unban you or say no. But the tools were extremely limited back then.
Yeah, literally kind of similar situation. One of the people I still mod for, former Twitch staff, literally the first TwitchCon, I met up with him. He introduced me to someone on the engineering team. I'm just like, if there's ever any ounce of help in your heart, please make modding easier for us. And it's just like, I can't say, but we might be working on something. And then same thing. Years later, here we are.
That's wild.
Yeah, no. Like, we were lucky that the community I was in, we had a person who knew how to deal with IRC and had bot logs for chats. So we were able to simply look up the username and go through his logs to try to find the person's name to verify whether they did or did not do the thing they said.
Oh my gosh.
That was before the CBenny log viewer, before all this stuff that we had built into the system. Okay. Before all this, same thing. We had I had an IRC thing on my computer that I would use, that I literally kept up on a laptop that was on 24/7. That thing only ran off of power. It didn't run off of the battery anymore, but it did the job.
Yeah, Helena, for you with like early Twitch, what was that like, right? Because at least you weren't cursed like these other Justin TV mods.
The Wild West, apparently.
Yeah, like there's still a little bit more order, right, when you came to Twitch. But like, tell us about what baby Twitch looked like. Like, how did that work?
Well, it wasn't complete anarchy. Fortunately, I didn't have to go through what they went through.
Okay.
I do remember BTTV being available already. I remember though that stuff like unbans, I think that all went by Twitch message directly to the streamer. So mods didn't get stuff like we get now with the whispers and things like that. So we didn't really get too involved, unless for whatever reason the streamer asked us to unban someone for them. But it was quieter, back in 2015. There was kind of less to do in a sense around the time that I came on board.
So that explains like your chill demeanor then, right? You came on when everything was kind of dead. You're like, I'm like a mod vet, no big deal. And now Twitch chat is just like wild.
Yeah, well, back then I was only, I think the channel I was modding only was maybe 100 concurrents.
Okay.
And now I mod for Riot Games.
Oh wow!
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Helena.
Oh my gosh!
And Helena, if you want to give people a little bit about your mod resume, you mentioned Riot Games, but who else have you modded for? And events have you modded for?
ESL, GDQ, DreamHack.
Wow.
Saving Music Live. There's a bunch of them, and then there's like the Chipotle's official channel.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Chipotle does have a channel.
All right.
You got to slide in and get that black card.
Yeah.
You got to do.
I should.
BRB, I'm gonna go follow Chipotle.
You never have to pay me, but just give me a black card, man. Like,
but I think the one channel that people like to point out the most that I mod for is Mia Khalifa.
Oh.
Again,
I'm not familiar.
BRB. No, so you guys mentioned before about the communication methods before, but Discord is like a huge thing, right? For streams now, for streaming communities, because it's kind of the place that people go after the stream. That's like where the community lives. So, and in a lot, we, in the communities I mod for, we use Discord to talk as a mod team. Like we do that. That's how we talk during a stream. What did you guys use to communicate as a mod team before Discord became a thing?
TeamSpeak.
Hey,
TeamSpeak and social media.
I
love TeamSpeak.
Yeah,
but
TeamSpeak.
I'm glad I no longer have to pay for a license or set up a server. It's
Oh
just
my gosh.
So yeah, no, we had I think we had TeamSpeak for voice chats whenever we needed to do that, which was like very infrequently. Like we always talked about having mod meetings, but we may have them like once or twice a year.
Oh,
Mostly we
funny.
used
What's a mod meeting?
Mostly we used the community's forums. We had a separate section for moderators and another separate section for administrators. So we had that mostly as our main like communication with each other.
Hmm.
But like mostly to like this person was acting up in a channel. Make sure to keep an eye on them. This person asked for an unban appeal. What do you guys think? So on and so forth. But most of it was done through that forum, which was it was a what was it? It was like whatever the basic like vanilla most general forum you could think of.
Okay.
But that's mostly what we used before Discord became popular.
Yeah, I think it was all TeamSpeak on my end too, and that was only on the very rare occasion there would have to be a mod meeting. I only
my
remember maybe 2 of those.
Wow.
Yeah, no, the concept of a mod meeting is lost on me.
Gotcha.
Really wow, yeah, because we come from a community that we talk literally all the time, like multiple times a week. Was there anything about the olden days as far as the tools and systems that you guys use that you miss at all, or is everything better now? Is everything better now?
Everything's better now for me.
I'm gonna go. There's like moments of like nostalgia that I'll miss.
I was gonna say, is there any nostalgia for anything for the way things used to be?
I don't really miss anything. No.
Yeah. The only thing I would say I miss is the ability that it was smaller. That's the only thing I would say is that it's a lot smaller. Like I feel, in my personal opinion, like back then, you knew everyone on the site. Like you would be able to go around and you knew pretty much everyone. Everyone knew everyone. It was more of a community feel. Now it's there are communities on Twitch, but they're very like you have X community, you have the games, you have the speedrunning community, you have variety, you have everyone segmented in their own communities, which is good. I like that.
Yeah.
But back then, everyone was just thrown in the pot together. Like you were all jumbled in together. And JTV's original purpose was like just chatting is now. So you had when gaming started to get popular, had those people get angry at the gaming people because it's like this isn't what you're supposed to do, and there was a lot of anger between two communities, gaming and IRL sort of talking streams, and kind of repeating itself today between gaming and just chatting.
It's so wild because when we came up with that question, I thought that there was gonna be like at least one tool, like one thing that would be missed. But then like y'all come on here, make me feel like I'm a kid who like didn't know what it was like before the internet. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
Beacon me, Jamie.
So we have a lot of y'all, I think, if I'm correct, a lot of y'all have modded for multiple channels during like the super early days. But like how did you manage that? I mean, telling us about these primitive tools and everything, like what did that look
Without a Discord, Carly, right? Without a Discord server, this is my one channel I mod this channel, and it's all there in Discord. But how did you guys, mod multiple channels?
Lots of caffeine.
See,
right.
I'm not a coffee person, so that was a rare occasion.
Bless your heart.
God.
Honestly, caffeine and stuff like Chatty, it's still around that you could have multiple channels and chats set up and stuff of that nature. Stuff like that That saved me so
See-
many times, especially
see,
moderating
I'm
multiple
so
partnered
old
streamers,
school.
But
Chatty is a lifesaver.
I'm so old school. I don't use Chatty. I never did.
oh,
I still
wow.
don't to this day. I don't use Chatty.
I
I don't
stopped
I-
using it a couple years
I
ago.
tried to set it up
but-
once, like probably I don't want to say like 2016 maybe. Someone tried to help me set it up, and I'm like, this is complicated. I don't want to use it. I'm good with what I have.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
I'm good with just the vanilla settings with like BTTV thrown in. I was fine
Oh
with that.
goodness, really?
Mhm.
Like that was like I couldn't use Chatty, and I had a friend of mine who worked for ESL tried to push me to use Chatty more, and I'm like, dude, I'm good with what I got. Unless you want me to work for you, I'm fine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fair.
So as things have evolved, or should I say back then, was your like relationship between the moderators and the streamers, right? Was that any different then with those tools than it is now?
I want to say so. Like, I'll talk mine because like I'm still very good friends with Swift. Like he lives in New York. I'm in New Jersey. Whenever I would go to the New York meetups, I'd see him. We'd hang out. I don't mod for him anymore because like it was years. Like I got in college. I couldn't spend much time in there. I still have a VIP badge for him. I, by the way, have a first founders badge to his sub channel.
Ooh.
Well, but I'll still like we were good friends. I remember the first time he had like a community meetup in New York. It was at some like event hall, and it was like maybe 25 of us, and like we're good friends. I still see him all the time, and back then it was a lot more, I want to say, close knit per se between the mods and the streamers because we were all the same community. We were all more coordinated, I would say, in like friendships and whatnot. Whereas now it seems more you'll have channels where you will have that sort of personal connection with mods and the streamers, but I feel like more more mods are. I don't know where I was going with the statement, but like I feel like there are some mods that just like keep it professional, like just professional between them, and some more chummy. It all depends on
Yeah.
who it is, what the streamer is, how they want to run their channel, and how they want to have their mod team handled.
Gotcha.
That's wholesome.
I say that's a pretty similar situation for me here. I'm fortunate now that I'm not going to say I don't do as much event or higher level monitoring, but the ones that I spend the most time in are the ones that I still have that personal person-to-person relationship with, both with the moderator team themselves and with the streamer themselves. So it's still like that's really what I personally go for and look for just in a community in general, whether I'm going to moderate for them or not, is do I at least get this personal connection? If I run into them at TwitchCon, are we going to be able to talk for more than 30 seconds and actually have a conversation? Not that there's anything wrong with you. Just say, hey, good to see you. All right, I got to go. Okay, cool. If that's all that happens, it's all that happens, because sometimes that's just the relationship you're going to have with the broadcaster or even just another member of the community. But that's what I've thrived off of, and that's what I got started with. So that's what I've always gone and looked after.
I've been lucky. I've every situation I've gone into, I've generally had a good relationship with everybody. I haven't been in any situations, even in the large teams, where we're all just kind of doing our own thing. There's a level of camaraderie there, regardless of how big the team is, and it's generally a pretty happy situation.
That's so cool. But now that we're done with this wholesome talk, it's time to get into the nitty-gritty mods.
The real modding, Carly.
The real modding. Let's talk about trolls. All right. So what was trolling like back then? Because I mean, now you can have one user make a billion different accounts and all spam the same thing. You deal with bots, you deal with ban evasion, all that. Like what did that look like back then? I mean, even your banning tools were like ridiculous.
In the olden age.
Yeah, tell us, enlighten us, elders.
So I was a troll.
We're
I say this to everyone. The best mods are former trolls.
Absolutely.
Or still
Cur-
trolls.
or still trolls.
Currently trolls.
Um,
I am the same
No,
way.
I would be
Wow.
one of the ones
We
who
all
would
are.
troll those IRL like JTV channels and be like, like shoe on head, I love lamp, those types of, and just annoy the heck out of them. All fun. I was never aggressive. I would just be like funny troll memes.
Yeah.
But back then there were a lot more creative trolls. Like today, I say the trolls of today are weak.
Yes, they
don't
are.
test me, and I tell them to try and test me, and they just get angry and just spam like slurs, and I'm just like, boring.
They lack
Boring.
originality.
It's boring.
I feel the
Boring.
same way.
At least tell me a bad pun or make a SpongeBob reference or something.
Yeah.
Man. Like, come on, do something.
Like, be
Make me at least-
creative.
Make me at least like snort a little bit or
yeah.
crack at least part of a smile.
Yeah, like see if you can last long enough in chat before we inevitably have to ban you, or maybe it turns out you're a good troll and then you can be part of the community.
Exactly.
Like I remember back then, like I would ban someone, and I would get hate mail in the Twitch DM thing. I remember once. So this is a little rough. I was playing on my PS3, and I got a PSN message from some random person. It was a death threat because I had banned them from a community.
Oh no.
I've gotten those.
So like I was like, that's creative. One, I'm scared because I was like 16 at the time and getting a death threat, but they found my PSN and sent me the message through there, not to like on the forums, not on my Twitch. They went to my PSN. So I'm like,
That's dedication.
that's dedication.
Yep.
I'm like, this is good. I like this. Banned still. And I saved it.
But
Like,
tip of the cat to you, troll.
Before Twitch removed their messaging system, they allowed you to download all the messages. So I did that, and I found a
Ooh.
bunch of the old like hate mail that I got. And sometimes it would be like unban me from channel, and I'm like, I respond to them, what channel? I mod for like 12. Like today, I don't get those anymore. I don't get angry whispers. Like,
I get those.
Really?
I want
One
those.
channel.
What are those like? What are those like, Helena?
Oh, everything from death threats to marriage proposals to try to get unbanned.
What? Really?
Yes.
What?
No, I'm
I've had a
married.
couple too. I've had a couple too that I've politely declined, but
This is wild.
Like people don't realize, like we love it. Like I mean, us personally, the three of us probably. I don't know how. I can't speak for every mod on Twitch, but like from what I can guess, we love it when we get hate mail. Because another saying I would have is, if they sent you hate mail, it means you did something right because they spent time out of their day to send you a message.
Oh, that's
Right.
a good way to look at it.
It's a good way of looking
the
at
blood
it.
of the
Even if
enemies.
that-
It's the
even if
blood of the
it's all
enemies
that-
effect.
We're the focus of their attention for however long it took them to send that message,
Mhm.
whether it be 2 seconds, 2 minutes, however.
Usually it's, for me, probably 2 seconds. Unban me, you so-and-so.
Yeah, right?
It's either an FU or it's a paragraphs. And either
WTF.
way,
I wish it was
I wasted your time and you spent all your keystrokes, and that's one of your 20,000 keystrokes or whatever your keyboard's going to last
Mhm.
for because you got it on clearance. Cool.
Dude, I
Thanks.
love the passive aggressive whispers, like where you ban someone for being like super mean and then they just like whisper you. It's like, that moment when like the mods are so intolerant and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why are you still talking to me? We banned you. What is this gonna do?
I got one of those a week ago, and I literally replied back with their same message, alt capitalized, the SpongeBob mocking meme, just like that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me make a note of that. That's good stuff. Hold
Oh,
on.
It's,
man.
it's easy because they instantly get bad, and they'll
Mhm.
reply right back with something short, sweet, and to the point. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I was right. I made the right call.
Or even like a K or just the loco good emote. That's what I use it for mainly, is to just be really condescending.
It's like, cool.
Hey,
That's what I like
good
with
for you.
Phelan, the one I mod for now, she has a Fey T emote, and it's the most smug emote, and I love it.
They're so good.
I love it. I use it for almost every reply when I want to be like smug and just like I'm done with your comment or whatnot. I'm just like whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Like you said, like the best mods are trolls or former trolls. Like that's just how it is. You're not going to win against us because
you understand the inner workings of the troll mind.
Exactly. Like
Right.
you can't beat me.
It's
I
child
was
Anakin
you.
going against Yoda. It's not going to work. You're not going to win. You might be powerful with the Force, but you're not going to win against me. I know what I'm doing.
Oh my gosh, it's so relatable.
Oh my lord!
I can't get over the marriage proposals. Like,
Yeah, that is
That's a new one. That's
Well,
what
I didn't mention that I've also gotten pics.
Oh,
no.
wait, you used to be able to send pics?
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
Oh no!
Like links and stuff too. Like if they uploaded it to Imgur or something,
Yes.
they could
Oh,
just
yeah.
It
send
was
it
a
that
link,
way.
Imgur links.
You're
wow.
brave. Y'all really brave here.
This is why we appreciate your service and dedication to the
Yeah,
platform.
Thank you for your service.
That's why we
Vintage
have you all
mods.
here. You guys were mentioning earlier have a dichotomy between like the just chattings and the gamers and that. So how would you guys say that the culture of Twitch has changed over the years? I mean, have you noticed any differences in how like chat behaves basically as mods as the platform has grown?
In ways, some of it is still the same.
Mm-hmm.
But in a lot of ways, it's starting to get the point where you catch on to pop culture references and things of that sort more quickly. Like half of the bad jokes or the reasons people get banned nowadays is from stupid thing on TikTok or something like that.
Right.
It's just relatable content, quote unquote, that you're just going to see on a regular basis now. So it's the same old stuff. It's no different than again like us making a SpongeBob reference 5-6 years ago. It's the stuff that we learn, that we mock, that we make fun of, or whatever it is. It's just like old man on the lawn shouting to get off his lawn. At this point, like I've seen the same jokes 6 times this week. You're not getting anywhere. Yeah.
Like the way the community itself has grown since the early JTV days to now, I'd have to say it would probably be more so that mainstream has integrated itself into Twitch, and how you'll see more mainstream like other social media like memes and jokes and stuff start to flow into here. Whereas back then, it was a little more closed off. Like back then, live streaming, not just for JTV in itself, live streaming in general was just like brand new. No one knew what the heck it was.
Completely new medium. Completely
It
new
was
medium.
like no one knew, no one understood it. It was like JTV and Ustream, and Ustream was the big dog back then.
Oh.
And like there were people that like you would have your own internal memes of JTV, which is where a lot of the current Twitch global emotes come from. Were originally JTV memes, and they've just transcended the platform and just become global. Like there's a lot of stuff that is lost to time, both from the fact that so few of us are still remaining, and there was just so much stuff back then to try to remember. I've forgotten a lot of it as well.
Probably easiest example I could think of is the Kappa, the shirt they gave out at the first TwitchCon. If you got to the doors right away, it was the Kappa face, and underneath it said "Gray face, no space."
Yeah, I would troll.
That's how you would get people is, oh, hey, how do you do that emote, man? That's so cool. Gray face, no space.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you would type it, and it wouldn't work.
And then the
And
chat
they'd
would just
keep
spam
typing
gray
it,
face without a
and they would
space.
just all do it.
That was
Just a classic. And the fact they put that on the shirt for the first year made me so happy. I
That's
still
so
have it. It's in my
cool.
closet.
That is dope.
I have mine.
That is dope.
I don't wear it. Like it's honored.
I wear it like once or twice a year, but that otherwise it stays in the closet.
Those are choice decisions. Those 1 or 2 moments really count.
Yep.
For sure. Now, how do you guys all mod for different streams currently, correct? How do you guys balance your responsibilities and workloads for those different channels?
ModView's been wonderful. Discord has been wonderful. Being able to actually tell when other mods are online, and especially like, at least for myself personally, because I stream on a regular basis now too, and actually being able to focus on that and actually be able to say, oh, hey, I know X, Y, and Z's schedule. I know I'm going to go live at 8 p.m. They're done at 7 p.m. I can stay in chat the entire time. It'll take 5 minutes to go get dinner, make sure it's almost there. We go, whatever. But again, all these new tools have made things so much easier for us across the board.
Right.
That being able to say, oh, hey, I have 4 other people on chat and they're actively talking. Cool. If I need to go to the bathroom, it's fine. I'm not going to need to bring the laptop with me to the bathroom to make sure chat doesn't overflow into chaos. But
Right.
just from that example speaking wise, like, it just makes it so much easier having other people around and having these tools.
Yeah, what about you, Helena?
I think for me, Discord and Chatty make it a lot easier, because a lot of times I am having to be in multiple channels, especially on weekends with the events.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
often more than one thing running. I'm usually 5 or 6 channels up at once.
Oh my lord! And we're talking thousands of people in these channels, right?
Right.
I can't imagine.
So I mean, but with Chatty and with Discord, it's also much easier because there's communication there. I'm able to see all the chats. I'm able to do what I need to do. I usually have 1 or 2 of the streams up on another monitor, so it's all good.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
so like definitely for me, well, one, back then I would back then we had our own the website that the forum that we had our own like multi-stream link, brand new at the time. Like someone was able to code and make a multi-channel link to where you could click people's names and it would come up with the different channels in one browser or one page. Amazing. But the max I would do back then would be doing 12 channels at once. With the old technology. Now I don't have as many channels. I maybe have like Faye and maybe like 2 or 3 others, and they're all at different time zones. So like one is in the morning, one's in the early evening, one's at late night. So I don't have to worry about, overlapping or, like having to worry about, if I have to be there at that time. Because thankfully now with Discord, I can tell, oh, these people are online. They're probably in the chat. Especially with ModView, I can see how many people are in the chat right now, how many mods. So I don't have to worry about, going to the bathroom and chat just descending into chaos. Still happens sometimes, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's you guys have been on mod teams for a long time. What's one big difference that you've noticed between how mods may have used to be back in the day and how mods are now? As you guys are vintage mods, you're veterans. So what's like the big difference between mods then and mods now?
I don't notice much of a difference, really.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it really depends on the channel, honestly.
Yeah.
I know I'm one of the last, I would say one of the few that I still hold a certain, like, I'm very against certain tools that were native back then and are still native now. Like, I'm very against sub-only mode for certain events. Like, I'll just use an example. Like, Faye was doing The Last of Us 2. A lot of people were saying, oh, you should probably put it in sub-only mode. I'm like, I don't think that would be valuable because you're just going to cut out a lot of people and turn them away. Put it on follower-only mode and then have us keep an eye on chat. And there was maybe one spoiler, which I caught before she even saw it, throughout the entire playthrough. So, like, there's a certain way I like chats. It depends on the channel as well. But back then, a lot of streams mods were just like, whatever, just free flowing, just do what you do. Oh, that person turned on, like emote only mode or chat, like, 1 hour slow mode. Slow mode is another thing that I was very against back then. But like, oh, they turned on slow mode, but we don't want slow mode. Turn it off. No, I'm turning it back on, and you would have people just
slow mode is
fight over it.
terrible.
Yeah,
I hate slow mode. I despise it.
Mhm.
I
The
don't.
only time I've ever used any of those things was myself when I had one mod that was going to be up when I was going to be on. So I literally set it to follower only mode for like 5 minutes. And I'm just like, if something happens, it's on me. I'm choosing to stream at 12 o'clock in the morning. That's on me. You know,
Yeah, like
most of my
follower.
guys are there, whatever it is. But
Mhm.
when I actually modded like channels, it was like, unless there was a spam bot, a follow bot, troll bots, quote unquote, the 4chan raids, things of that nature, unless stuff like
Oh
that
gosh, the
happened,
4chan raids.
like I had to dip out of a game once. Well, one of the people I modded for, we were all playing Counter-Strike one day, and they ended up on front page, 2,500 people.
Oh my gosh.
She wasn't ready. I was the only mod in chat. I said, if I die, I'll clear out chat. Don't worry about it. I'll get on
So-
next round, but let's win this, and then I'll take care of chat.
Wait,
Get somebody else into
tell-
play.
Tell me about the 4chan raids, because y'all all reacted to this. Is
Yeah,
it just like,
We've all been through them.
like,
I want to hear some horror stories.
yeah.
I feel like
Ugh.
I can talk about these as well because I kind of participated in one. I think was it? I don't know.
I've been,
You
I've,
snitching on
I've been in a wholesome one. I've been in a wholesome 4chan.
Yeah, mine was wholesome. Okay,
Mine was wholesome.
I feel like, wait, before you continue, I feel like I did a really poor job of screening our guests before they came on because
Yeah,
we're learning so
Dylan.
much about NPR right now that is a bit
What?
terrifying.
What?
I said I was a troll, but no,
What
like
is
it
What's
would
a
just
wholesome 4chan?
spam. So you would just things were they would just find a random channel, didn't have to be like just had to be anyone at the time,
Okay.
and they would just spam one message. It could be "I love lamp" from like the movie Anchorman. They would just keep spamming that, or "shoe on head" and we stopped spamming, type of a deal. And they would just keep doing that, and it wouldn't be like a bot account. It would be actual people. So you wouldn't be able to tell that they're all bots. They're all people doing it at once. And these were very frequent on Twitter. Some of them got really nasty. I didn't do,
Wow.
which I had to fight against.
Oh my gosh.
But, like they were very popular on early JTV, and when you had one, you knew, and you just hit like an emergency button for like slow mode or emo or like sub only mode or something along those lines to try to like halt it, and then ban all the accounts as they go past in chat. While every normal chat is like, "What's going on? What is this? Are we under like what's
Don't
happening?"
worry about it.
And then we were like, shut up. Don't worry, Dad. Shush. Don't worry.
Wow.
We got this.
And that all predated stuff like follower mode and sub mode too.
Yeah. So like
Gosh.
Some of them even dated BTTV, so you couldn't clear chat to get rid of it and then be able to see the accounts. If you clear chat was gone.
yeah, so like
Right,
and that was for like everyone too. So like you wouldn't be you'd have to go into like the old like viewer chat lists to the side, which is really hard and loads so slowly when that happens. And then like find was that one of the ones that was spamming? Was that one? I don't know.
What, Helena, does that still happen because you mod for those like massive channels, right? Like
We get the bot attacks every once in a
Okay.
while. But those are there with the bots that we have now, the technology and stuff. We're easily able to get rid of it.
Oh, so y'all have like a chat bot or something, or
It's usually OBot.
I've never heard of that.
I've been hit by it several times on accident in Riot Games chat.
Oh my gosh.
I like copy pasta, okay? But
I
like
agree.
Obot is very
OBot's killer.
yeah, it's very
Ooh.
mean.
Nice. That's man, I'm learning so much.
I know.
Okay, I got one for y'all. All right, so we covered how like the mods kind of haven't changed a whole lot since the early days of Twitch versus the mods that we have now, but y'all are veterans. So what is it like when a new mod joins the group? I mean, you have sometimes a decade of experience on someone who's literally just starting right now. Like what kind of things do you do to make them feel welcome? Do you have like hazing rituals, and can I take notes for that? You know,
Yeah.
tell me about that.
Here's what you do. What's up, fresh meat? Get me coffee. Like literally, whenever we get so. I'm trying to think who the last mod was added on Faye's channel. But it was pretty much like, you're the new meat. You're gonna get coffee for all of us now. That was the running joke for any team that I was part of as a mod. Whoever the newest person was had to get coffee. And another hazing ritual I would do. That new person would have to solo mod a single stream.
No.
Oh wow, really?
We would all not show up to a single stream and tell them they have to mod it solo.
Oh goodness.
And that was my thing, because when what was it? Dead Space 2 came out,
No.
I was modding Swift's channel, and I was the only mod there for 1,100 people in like JTV, and I held the thing down, and there was no issues. And so to this day, I put on as a hazing ritual, as a joke. We don't actually, like, we sit there and chat. So in the event that something emergency happens, we can react. But the joke is that they have to mod a single chat or single channel for one day.
Wild. Helena and BM, like what? I mean, is yours even remotely that intense?
No, not at all.
The second one a little bit, yeah. The last like major community that I helped with like moderation, I would say I was like head/second head mod basically. So I helped with a lot of like resources. Hey, go here, download this, download BTDV, do this, yada yada, help them get set up, kind of thing. We would do similar things like, oh hey, we gotta go. And just everyone would just quote unquote bounce. I would actually just flip into invisible on BTTV.
Oh my god!
I'd be just like sitting there watching.
Invisible was the
I'd
best.
just be like, let's see if they got this. It's been 10 seconds. Are you gonna grab that one? That's something we talked about. Just like stuff like that, and just like not a big deal. But it was mainly like what's the best word for it? Like a teach down moment. Like, hey, I literally sat and watched. You did great on this, and this, teaching moments, that sort of thing. So it wasn't, again, same thing. It wasn't like oh hey, I'm not going to be there if all hell breaks loose. But I want you to be ready in case something does happen, that you're one or the only mod that's present and able to be active for a moment there, because things happen. People's internet go out. Family emergencies might happen. I might have had too much Taco Bell earlier today. Any of it. Like if I gotta go, I gotta go. But
it happens.
You got to be ready for it,
yes.
and that's especially on bigger channels, especially on communities that have active chats. Like you got to be ready for it if you're gonna step up to the plate and be a mod. And to this day, the last person I worked with, she is one of the best mods I've seen on the platform since I started. Like, I will give her that honor. I don't know if she's in chat right now or not, but she knows who she is. I always remind her of it too. But like,
that's nice.
Be beyond happy with how everything turned out with that, and like the communities that I left them with, they're in good hands. So
it was definitely, we hazed people, but I made sure that there was a backup in the event that something happened, because of that whole, an emergency could happen and literally everyone could be gone except
Yeah,
Jim.
because of the Taco Bell.
Exactly, Taco Bell, very dangerous. But I still, to this day, I remember that I always tell, whenever we get a new mod, I always tell them that Dead Space 2, like solo modding for 1,000 people. They're like, oh, that's not bad. I'm like, yeah, that was the #1 stream on JTV back in like 2016. And like it definitely, so like it definitely prepares them for that moment. Also, to be more vigilant for, like if the streamer is on a front page, or if they're doing sponsored content and you don't really want to have a certain chat while sponsors are in channel.
Yeah.
You want to have, a little more reined in type.
Same thing with VODs having active chat showing, like having the chat showing during the broadcast. They pop into 35 minutes into the stream and someone says this, and this, and it's still there. The good thing about VODs is if it's deleted from the chat, it doesn't show up on the VOD chat.
That's nice.
So you don't have to worry about that aspect for it there. But again, same thing if they're actively in the chat, or if they're a partner or even an affiliate now, because affiliates can sometimes get rolled into front page slots if they're on a list or anything like that too. You never know. They might pop in and have 1,000 people. They might have 2,500. Like I had to solo deal with and hop out of a CS match for it because I was the only mod that was there and I was playing. I'm just like, I knew I shouldn't have queued up. Oh no.
Yeah.
But like being able to handle that situation, you got to be ready for it if you're gonna bring up the mantle, for lack of better words.
For sure, for sure. And so, Helena, I want to start with you on this one. What would you say is like when you think back over your modding career? What's like the proudest moment that you've had, or accomplishment, or something that happened in chat, or something like a community member told you, like that you think back on, you're like, that was really cool.
I can't really point out a single example, but I do get a lot of messages from various community members, occasionally streamers, just appreciating what I do, saying I'm a good mod and that they love seeing me in the chat or in the community, things like that. I've had a couple of people ask if they could donate to me. I'm not a streamer, so I don't have a Streamlabs or anything like that. But just things like that. Nothing specific really, but just a lot of these little things that make my job a lot easier.
That's so sweet.
That's wholesome. What about you guys, NPR?
So I can think of like two off the top of my head. One would be that Dead Space one, because I remember being like, that was maybe 2 years into modding, and I'm just like, I have no clue what's going on. It was like midnight, and I was panicking a bit, and I handled it pretty well, and Swift liked it. And the other one would probably be modding 12 channels at once, and then also modding a charity event. I was working a charity event, and I did 16 hours. I want to say 16 to 20 hours, maybe.
Oh my
straight.
gosh.
Never again. I have a set schedule now because they forced me to whenever it happens. I would get up at 9 a.m., get on at 10, and I wouldn't go to bed until 4 a.m. and repeat that for a week.
Dude.
But it would only be for that 1 week throughout the entire year. But I loved it. So it would only be like, it would be 1 week, and I would love it. I would hate myself afterwards. Love it. That's basically the premise of my entire modding career. I hate myself for doing this, but I love doing it.
DM, you have a proud moment?
Yeah, it's definitely a love-hate relationship, and I have to agree. There's not like a single like defining moment. Like obviously, I brought up the 2500 front page CS moment, but like everything that's happened since I started doing this, with all the charity events I've been able to help with, all the regular in-event things that I've been able to help manage, from a Super Smash Brothers major that I helped run the chat for, to even just the small stuff like somebody's first stream as an affiliate. Like every single one of those moments is why I started doing it in the first place. So obviously there's going to be ones that stand out a little bit more for me. Like, oh, hey, they raised 10 grand. They did this. They had this many viewers and I was the only one there. You know, all these things are important and part of what has been part of the journey for all of this. But again, every single piece of it is why I signed up in the first place. So I wouldn't be able to say that there's just one defining moment. That's why I'm on. It's all of it.
Yeah, the charity events are the best.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy working them.
Yeah, but it's my favorite part of the year, like St. Jude, for example. And
yes!
I'm on year 3 of doing it, and this year was the most money I raised personally. But seeing all the other people that I moderate for, that I've worked with, that I help help them set up for their first one, like that's why I do it, is to be able to see that and be like, damn it, yes. That's why we're here, dude. Like that. There can't be just one moment when there's all these good moments.
For sure.
It's so fulfilling to mod and just have just like little things like that happen, like messages from Helena, or like suddenly feeling like a badass because you're moderating a bunch of channels or charity, or it's cool that all of those moments have just kind of added up, and now here y'all are, like however many years later, still doing the same thing because I love it. But what's one thing that you could improve about Twitch that would make modding easier? Helena, I'm gonna start with you since you have those big chonker
chonker channels.
Yeah, chonker channels.
I love it. I put that on my bio.
Yes.
I think I would like to see Twitch take a little more control over getting rid of certain usernames.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. That's the first thing that off the top of my head. Maybe make the reporting process just a little bit quicker and more transparent.
Sure.
But other than that, those are really my two big concerns.
Okay. Is that because like that's like one of the main issues you deal with in chats? That's why it's the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah, well, in the chunker channels, yes.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Channels.
In the community channels, I really don't have any issues.
Nice. Okay.
They're all very nice communities.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting perspective. What about the rest of y'all? Let's do a DM.
So that I definitely agree on that. The username and the report system could definitely use a bit more of an overhaul, some more insights, more options, especially like on specifics. Like, hey, they did this, followed with this, and like especially like I deal with ban evasion on a very
Yes.
regular
Oh,
basis
God.
with
Yeah.
certain channels. Because, and as unfortunate as the state of it is, I moderate a decent amount of people of color and LGBTQ communities and everything of that sort. So if they get hit by anything like that, there's always the people that are doing that. They're going to do these different things with their usernames or the same repeated message, or it's the same person making 20 accounts and coming back in and having a button that says additional account made, and they say, oh, hey, is this related to the last report you just made? Is this the same person? Yeah, they're saying the same stuff. And then you can like tag the time frame of the message in chat, even though it's been deleted. You got to know that there's something on the chat log on the back end that's still going to show what that message was. So having things of that nature that can make it easier. Obviously, I use Lightshot for screenshots, and the nice thing with that is I can local save or get a link for it. And if something like that ever happens, I always use that and put the link in the report so they can click on it and see,
I do that
copy
too.
and see, boom, done. It's right there, and then they have all of that for it there. But just things like that that make it easier and more transparency on what they're willing to do to improve and get things rolling with that would make things a lot easier too. Because like we're not going anywhere. Like none of that's going to be changing. We're still going to be here. We're going to still be defending, sticking up, and working for these people of any type that are going to be harassed in any way, shape, or form. Tackling harassment is probably my biggest concern and my biggest thing. This is like make it easy for us to help you guys get rid of these people.
Yeah.
And obviously, pipe dream, but IP banning if you're banned on an account, you can't watch the stream. That would be great. If it can happen, when it can happen, the sooner the better. That's just my personal opinion, though.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so about the IP ban, like I was for it, but now I'm a bit more against it because when I was in college, everyone in the apartment shared the same IP.
That is my only thing is localized
That's
network.
the
Like,
thing.
I got
that's the one thing.
banned,
It's like,
or someone in my apartment, someone in the building got banned, I'd be affected. So, because the college is all on the same IP address, and I can't change that. So that's the only issue I could see with that. But yeah, pretty much everything that was said. Better report system. I do like how it is now, but I don't like how it's very like it's kind of convoluted to how like okay, I have to click this one, and then I have to click this one, then I have to click this button. Oh, now I can
Oh,
finally
man.
input what I say. So like it's very. I wanted a little more streamlined. I would say I like how there's a bunch of options, a lot more than there originally were. But if there was a streamlined way to do it, so I could easily report, because if I'm trying to report someone, it's going to take me a couple of minutes because I have to get the screenshot if I want to. I have to go through those, navigate that thing. So then that's me not focusing on chat for however long it takes me to send that report. And if it's multiple people, that's more time taken away. I do like the ability that I do like how it's been now with more so. I think it was like, what was it? I want to say last month it was. They said they were upping the ability to, with Automod dealing with usernames and having to fight against usernames in certain phrases and whatnot. I did like that. But my biggest thing would probably streamlining the report system, so like I can easily send them out faster if need be.
Something that would be great too, if a mod bans somebody, insta pop up. Do you want to also report this user?
Oh, that would be
That would be
awesome.
good.
That would be really helpful.
Like,
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that right there. Make it happen.
Make
Yeah,
it
like,
happen.
Somebody
Right.
in engineering.
You
make
heard it
happen.
here from DM. Make it happen here behind the streams. We got to wrap up here shortly, but I do want to get to a couple things that were happening here in chat. Especially Jabber mentioned earlier that he'd love to have a username history thing available again. And I also want to mention this. Twitch used to have the ability to, when you click on a user's profile and you pull up their Twitch page, you could see who they were following. That was a useful tool to see like who are they following? What other channels are they engaged in?
I use that quite a lot. So I'm very
Yeah.
So one of the games I play is EVE Online, very spy heavy and whatnot. I would do that in my modding. I would look at who they were following to see who they actually were. And I would several people I found out as trolls, I was able to find out who the real account was and ban them.
Right.
Fantastic.
Following themselves for the sake of following themselves,
Exactly.
and then
Mhm.
boom, gotcha.
Or if they
Not very
said
smart.
that, or if they said that, oh, I follow this other person or whatever, you can go check. Wait, no, you don't. Or whatever. We did have a question from chat. I want to read this. How do you guys balance? I'll start with Helena on this one. How do you balance your mod entertainment enjoyment of watching a stream? So basically, like if you just want to lurk this day or watch this game, I'm sorry, I'm reading this question. Yeah, how do you balance that? Like, are there days or that you kind of just want to chill?
Yeah,
And
absolutely. There are days when I'm tired or not feeling 100%. Where
Mhm.
and a lot of times I can just lurk peacefully because there are other mods depending on the channel. Obviously, if it gets too crazy, then I'll step in and help out, no matter how crappy I might be feeling at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't have too much of an issue balance. I get a lot of other activities done. I have my real life stuff. I'd like to say I'm finally getting that sense of balance.
Nice.
Good to
After
hear.
how many years?
5 years. It only took 5 years.
Wow.
Cool. Is the experience similar, NPR for you?
So I usually get my entertainment from modding. Like I said,
Okay.
I bait the trolls. I try to get some entertainment out of that. I always joke how I have no clue what's going on in the game because I'm too busy focusing on chat. Like,
Yeah.
you could ask me what happened in The Last of Us, and I maybe could tell you one or two major plot points. That's it. I don't know what happened in the game at all because I was too busy looking at chat. Sometimes it'll be like a boring stream, like chill. Doesn't look like it's going to be very active, so I'll pop open a game on the side and like play that a bit while I have chat on my left side, so that in the event that I see something, I can just tab out and deal with it. But more often than not, I kind of have found that sort of balance, I want to say, between like entertainment and modding. But there's definitely I definitely have channels where I'm a community member. People know I'm a moderator for however many channels. They've said to me, like, in the event that I need a mod in an emergency, you're my choice. But I just hang out, I meme, I chat as a regular person, and that's usually where I go to if I need to relax, de-stress, sort of.
I think in my case, a lot of times what happens now is that there are communities I go to just to watch whatever the stream is, and they usually will make me VIP just because they just say that you already mod so many channels, we don't want to pile this on. We want you to still enjoy yourself. So they make me a VIP, I guess, just to make me feel better or whatever. Not that it doesn't really matter, but just so that they don't want me to feel like I'm obligated.
Sure.
Got you. We are short on time, guys, so we do have to kind of wrap it up here. But one last question for everybody. I want to go around the room, and I want to start it with you, Helena. If you could give your veteran sage wise advice to anyone who's interested in becoming a mod for a channel or who is a new mod to a channel and they need that advice, or how do I navigate this modding world? What would you say to somebody?
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Oh,
That would probably be my, don't feel like that you can't get any help anywhere, that you're going in and expected to know everything right away. Ask a question. Or at least in streams where I am, and I'm sure others feel the same way, that we'd rather you ask than fly blindly.
Don't, yeah.
Yeah.
DM?
I'm right there with you. Ask questions. My first question is, are you sure you want to be a mod? But I'm always joking. But
Are you really
ask questions.
masochistic?
Don't. Are you sure you want to do this? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We always have an undo button. If we see it in chat, it's okay. If you accidentally click on the wrong person, it's not the end of the world. Apologize if you mess up. Be human. And don't take things too personally unless they are made personal. Then make sure you report it and save it.
I would like to add one more thing. Do not use mod icons. For the love of God, don't use mod icons. I will flame you for doing that.
It's fine.
Charlie is obsessed with them.
Carly, please. Like,
I will agree.
I've had
If you
more
can learn the mod
mistakes.
without them, that's the best way to do it because you're not going to make as many mistakes.
Yeah, fair. Absolutely.
Wow.
No, like I completely agree, but
To be fair, again, troll coming out. I use the mod icons more to just delete single messages of people just to mess with them than I do to actually timeout and ban people. I would much rather / timeout ban username done.
But no, but on a serious note, like definitely always ask questions. Like, we've been doing this for a while. You're new. Let us help you. We're a family.
Right.
We help each other. Don't not say anything.
That's man, this is some great advice. Thank you all so much. Yeah, I know this is like one of my favorite episodes, honestly. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to be guests on Behind the Streams today. If really quick we could go around the room and tell everybody where they can find you. Let's do NPR. Where can we find you?
You can find me everywhere on Twitch. I seem to show up in a channel and people somehow know me, even if I don't know them.
Okay.
But no, really, you could. My Twitter is Mpr11. Don't ask why it's different than my username. I get angry. But so that's my handle in Twitch chat.
I kind of want to know now.
That's awesome. Thank you, NPR. What about DM? What about you, man?
I'm nice and easy. Everything's the same because I'm a nice, unique name. It just happened to work out with my username. It is pronounced DMPeyer, like Star Wars. The Empire Strikes Back. That's where I got it from.
I just got that.
That's the branding. That's what's behind it, and that's pretty much everything you can find me on. If I'm not DMPeyer, it's usually DMPeyer Strikes. But I don't think I have anything I use on a regular basis that isn't just DMPeyer now.
Love that. Thank you, DM. And Helena.
On Discord, I'm FeralHelena. I don't stream, so my Twitch channel is kind of useless.
Yeah.
Twitter,
I stream once every birthday.
Yeah, Twitter, I'm a BlueStar888.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, y'all. We really appreciate having you on. I'm gonna just do a quick cap for what y'all can expect on Streamer Square in the coming feature. Next week. No, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, Shadow Temple is doing a workshop on the path to partnership, so please be sure to tune in right after Hotfix. Same start time every single Wednesday. We have workshops with a variety of topics, and this one is going to be about the grind to partnership. So I know a lot of us are very curious about that. Going to be some awesome information. Come prepared, come to take notes, bring an apple for Shadow because they're going to be an awesome teacher. And right now, the Hotfix topic for this week is currently unannounced. So make sure to stay tuned on our Twitter. That is twitter.com/streamersquare for more information. We post all of our updates there. We're going to be posting clips from this later. And I think that's about it.
Carly, where can the people find you?
Oh gosh, me. I'm at Carly Cartoons everywhere. I'm on Twitter. I am on Discord. I stream on Mondays and Wednesdays in the evening Pacific time. So very late for y'all Eastern
Carly time.
Coast peoples. Yeah, Carly time. That's my time zone. I do animation and art, and sometimes I do marbles now. But yeah, I mean, go do with that information what you will. But what you should really pay attention to is Dylan's information.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, thank you for that segue. Yes, I stream Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm playing a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2, a little bit of Animal Crossing, a little bit of talking. It's a cool place to hang out in the morning.
SpongeBob.
And some SpongeBob, yes, as well as some SpongeBob. Cool place to hang out in the morning. So I want to see you there. I want to see all of you there. But appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much to our awesome guests. I feel like I've learned so much. I've learned so much.
Right?
I'm gonna as soon as this is over, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna rewatch the VOD and take all the notes because you guys were amazing. I am. Yeah, I'm serious. I am. I am. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Wave goodbye.